I'm Regina Tucker, and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. My perpetrator I was married to for 13 years. It's not what people think abuse looked like. The mental part of it happened way before any of the physical abuse happened.
It's been said a lot of times, a lot of places, where people wonder why someone stays in that situation, but my key word there would be fear, because you have fear of the abuser, but you also have that fear of the unknown, you know, the devil that you know versus the one that you don't. And so that fear of having to make those decisions for yourself, having to learn to stand on your own, is scary to a lot of people.
And to think that they could have left sooner, maybe you could have left sooner, but they really couldn't. You know, they had to think about all the different scenarios, every different way that they could have left, all the different practical barriers that they might have to experience.
Some of them, if they leave, it could mean the difference between life or death for them or their family or friends. So we shouldn't pass judgment.
On September 16th of 2024, after we had been separated, it got physical, and on that date he strangled me in front of my two children. I come to the Family Crisis Center because I was completely lost, and I showed up here and I talked to the agency and had a wonderful lady tell me exactly what I needed to do. Y'all got me access to counselors for my children. I mean, my children were waking up with nightmares. Now they're sleeping in their own beds finally.
A lot of times we see, or I've seen children that have a fear of just loud noises, a fear of, sometimes it could be, if it's a male figure that's being abusive, fear of males. If it's a female, they're afraid of females. And I see that they are maybe acting out sometimes. Sometimes they act out what they see at home.
I think many times children are the silent victims of domestic violence, because when most people think about domestic violence, they automatically think about the adults in the situation. And so sometimes the children have a hard time when they come to our agency expressing maybe what they've been through, the trauma that they've experienced, witnessed. And so for our agency, it is so important that we try to create as much normalcy as we can for the kids that come into our shelter. You know, if you've never been faced with a decision to leave everything you know, your whole entire life, everything that you know, and make the decision that you have to move into an emergency shelter with your children, if you've never been faced with a decision like that, consider yourself very fortunate.
Had the lady that met me that day not made me go to the hospital and told me about a strangulation exam, I wouldn't have been here. And so they're lifesavers.
Just be there to listen, to validate their concerns. It's an honor. It's an honor to do what we do and to be part of their lives.
It means something different to everybody, but when you see somebody that has given up on themselves and then they get that fire back, and you can kind of see them growing and see them becoming their potential, it makes you happy to come back into work. This is one of the few jobs I've ever had in my life where I don't mind coming to, I look forward to coming to work because it makes a difference.
The Family Crisis Center saved my family. They were there for me, and they guided me through probably one of the darkest times in my life. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that they did take the time and were here, because had they not, it would have probably been impossible, because there's knowledge that they gave me that I was not aware of.